Transmission is the inverse of absorbance. So absorbance is all about what doesn't make it through the sample because of the chemical composition, what's in the sample. Transmission is the opposite. What does make it through the sample? So in one case, what gets absorbed or retained doesn't make it through. And in this case, we're talking about light that passes through. And I think this type of application I see more with optical filters. So if someone wants to characterize filters, which is what we're going to look at, or coatings, transmission is a good measurement, a good mode for that measurement. So in this case, I'm going to use the SR4. This is all of my spectrometers that I have here are XR versions. So they cover 200 to almost 1,000 nanometers. They're nice general purpose because they cover that wide wavelength range. We're actually just going to be looking in the visible with our light source will be the HL2000 HP-FHSA. So this is the one that has that attenuator, which is very nice. So you can deal with saturation on the spectrometer. Instead of this inline attenuator and an extra fiber, I just need this little screw. It's only in the visible though. So you can't, the UV, you'd have to go to an attenuator like this. So we've got probably my favorite visible light source. We've got the spectrometers connected. We see it in the software. We've got our light source. We talked about the HL. And in this case, I'm going to be looking at some optical filters. So we offer a sampling accessory called the FHS UV. So it looks very similar to the CUV UV, but it has the ability to take optical filters and hold them in the light path if you want to measure transmission through an optical filter. We're just going to look at some little filters that I brought, which will have very specific profiles based on what's in the filter, right? The coating. So I'm going to connect, we're going to look at this in the visible using our HL2000, and I'm using visible and IR fibers. I'm just going to connect this up. Turn my light source on. And we're going to connect it up very similar to how we did for absorbance because we're passing light through the sample. In this case, in both cases, we're passing light through, but in this case, we're looking at the light that comes through the sample, that actually makes it through. So very similar setup. Because we're sending light directly to the spectrometer, I do go with a smaller slit on those, although having this adjuster helps a lot. So if someone wants to stick with a larger slit so they can use it for different purposes, different applications, then some type of attenuator will help them to manage the potential saturation. So with the HL2000, it's built in, which is why I like it, or we have, as we were looking at earlier, the FVA UV, which also is very nice, but you need an extra fiber plus this part to put it in the system. But luckily for us, we have an HL2000 FHSA, so we'll be able to adjust that ourselves. With transmission, we're going to use the spectroscopy wizards again, and these are really nice. They make it easy for the customer to get into the measurement mode because it walks them through the steps to make sure they do everything they need to do to account for the instrument response function, the unique personality of each spectrometer. So we are going to go to the next bubble here and look at transmission. Just like our absorbance setup. In fact, I could make visible and IR absorbance measurements with this exact same setup. It's just a different measurement mode is all that it is. So we are really saturating, and you can see at the top of this spectrum, it's a flat top. There's no spectral features there. So that tells me I'm saturated. So I'm just going to use the automatic button to help me set my integration time. So it's at about that 85%. Now, what this tells me is that it's still showing saturated even though we don't see the spectrum anymore. This tells me I'm just really overly saturated. So what I'm going to do is use my attenuator. I'm just going to turn it until I block enough light. There we go. That looks better. So that was an interesting one because there was so much light that it went down to the minimum integration time, which on the 4, the SR4 and HR4 is about 4 milliseconds. And it still was very, very saturated. So that's where the attenuator came in, or I could have used smaller fibers or smaller slit. I'm going to put some averaging in because it's a short integration time. So I might as well average and make better spectral data. I have done as many as 300 averages. So if I have the time, I like to do signal averaging. It really improves the spectral data. Today, we'll just do 25. And the same with the Boxcar. Usually I try to keep it between 3 and 5 for absorbance and transmission measurements, so I don't smooth my peaks. I've got my acquisition parameters set, integration time, scans to average, Boxcar. My non-linearity correction is turned on. I think this should be on by default in most cases, but again, we recommend that you use the non-linearity. In this case, for most transmission measurements, you're doing air as the reference measurement. So another reference that I could potentially use, so for my optical filters, I could take a substrate that's not coated, and I could use that as my transmission reference to get rid of the impact of the substrate. But since I don't have a clear substrate to use, I'm going to use air. So a lot of transmission measurements are just done with a reference to air, which is what we're doing here. And then our background, as before, we don't want to turn the light source off. We want to shutter the light source. So this light source has a shutter on the back of it. And so we keep light from entering the spectrometer. We take our dark or background or whatever name people are calling it at the time. I've heard it called baseline, background, dark, offset, all kinds of names. But in the software, we call it background. In absorbance, when we looked at our reference, we were at 0, right? Because no light was being absorbed. Now with transmission, we're at 100%. So our values are different. And again, they're inverse of one another. So once we're in the mode, then what we can do, and I'm looking at the bounce here. I would probably do more averages if I was making measurements for a customer. But we can put our different optical filters in. And we can see this one looks like a very sharp cutoff above 600. All right, and then we put a different one in, to our yellow one. We can see this one has a cutoff at around 450-ish nanometers, or no, a little higher, about 475. And then the orange one is going to be in between the two. So while I can use the CUV for this measurement, it's not the FHSUV, the other product, will hold the filter so it's nice and upright in the light path. There's no way I have to do it by hand with this. So if someone's measuring optical filters, I would recommend the Accessory designed for measuring optical filters. So really for transmission, that's really the highlight of what it is. It's just the opposite of absorbance, same exact setup for the most part. You can look at liquids. Most people are doing absorbance with liquids and not transmission. But with these solid samples, you can use a setup like our CUV-UV or the FHS-UV to look at these filter samples, or something like our 74ACH, which will look at thicker samples. And I find this to be versatile in some cases. I can set it down on its side even for big samples, and I can definitely change these and move them, put the sample in the middle. So it's just versatile. It gives you flexibility for different measurements.